All right, everybody, we are back with the husband and wife cooking team and authors of The Italian Farmer's Table. We've got Matt Shalaba and Melissa Pellegrino, and as we mentioned earlier, they combine their passion for Italian food and culture and embarked on a life-changing culinary adventure, and they've got a hands-on experience in writing their book, and they're here to teach us how to make a vegetable strudel. First of all, welcome to the both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Desiree.
And you all have spent a lot of time traveling throughout Italy, and that inspired your book?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this particular cookbook you guys have. This is your first one, we should mention.
Book, yep, absolutely. And we had spent a year after culinary school working on about 3 or 4 organic farms in central Italy. And when we came back home, we had talked about our experiences with people, and people started to say, wow, this would make a really good idea for a cookbook. And that kind of inspired, that was a very early incarnation of this book. And 2 years ago, we said, if we're ever going to be able to do this, let's do it now. So
Wow.
we basically took our life savings, left our dog with our families, quit our jobs, moved all of our stuff into our parents' basements, and went to Italy for 4 months. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Whose idea was this, first of all?
I think it was mine.
She has all the good ideas.
Yeah, I do have all the good ideas. No, I think it was kind of a collaboration. I mean, we both really thought that our experience on working on these farms beforehand was phenomenal, and we learned a lot of things about Italian cooking and how they source their ingredients, and so it just kind of came
Made
naturally.
sense,
Yeah,
right?
it made sense.
All right, so what are we going to be making today? It is one of your recipes from your cookbook.
Correct.
Okay, tell us what we're making.
So we're making a vegetable strudel from Trentino Alto Adige, which borders Austria, and it kind of shows the influences that Austria has played on this segment of the cuisine.
Wow, I'm glad you said that. I am not going to attempt that, but I will attempt to learn how to make this.
Yeah.
All right, now walk us through some of the ingredients that you need to make this vegetable strudel.
Okay, so first just some yellow onion, and then we have speck, which is a cured smoked ham.
That's what this is here?
That's what this is here. And if you can't find it, I mean, it is accessible in Connecticut. Butzi's carries it, Whole Foods carries it.
Okay.
But if not, you can always substitute like a prosciutto, or you could cook up some bacon.
What's the difference between prosciutto and this here?
It's
This has a
just-
smoky quality to it.
Okay.
that
Yeah,
It's actually smoked over juniper berries and different
wow.
kinds of spices, so that kind of imparts a different flavor.
All right, let's get this party started. Okay, so what should we do first?
So first we're going to just dice our onion.
Okay, so I'll let you start that.
Okay.
I have black eyeliner on. I don't want to.
Actually, I know. I cry all the time.
You cry all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna look to? You said dice that?
Well, just like a very rough chop. You
Okay.
know, it's Italian cooking. It's a little more rustic. It doesn't have to be as
The
refined.
beauty about Italian cooking is it's kind of just a pinch of that rustic. It's not as maybe refined as the French, so it's kind
But
of
it's
a little
all food that's made with love.
with
Yes.
love and tastes good.
and with
Tell
great
us about the
ingredients.
experience of being in Italy on these particular farms. I mean, what was so different about being there than what we're doing here?
I think that there's just such a mindset of quality ingredients and not to use too much. A lot of our recipes in our book only have about 4 or 5 ingredients.
I'm making a big old mess over here. Thank you. My photographer Scro's over here trying to help me out. Scro, I'm a hopeless cause. Okay, here we go, because I want to show and have you tell us a little bit about this particular picture here. That one here is it's potato dumplings with sauce from Portofino.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, that was a farm in Liguria, which is on the Italian Riviera. And this was a really fun farm because everything was served family style, and that's why the bowl of gnocchi is so large.
Wow.
There was about...
I mean, you guys literally got there and worked hand in hand, side by side with people. Tell us about your picture here, Matt.
There I'm
is here.
making a dish from Piedmont, and it's called carne cruda, which is
Okay.
essentially beef tartare. And in Piedmont, they're famous for a type of cattle that has exceptional quality meat. And basically, I'm just chopping the meat to a pulp.
Wow.
And, yeah.
All right, so let's move this along here. Let's fast forward a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and toss it in there. What are we going to do with
So
those
what
onions?
we're going to do is we're going to saute the onions.
Okay, we'll let Matt do that.
Yep, we have butter. This is
Okay.
another interesting fact about northern Italian cuisine is that olive trees don't grow past a certain point in Italy, so butter is the preferred cooking fat.
And hi, I love butter, so anything with butter, I'm happy. So tell us some of the other ingredients. What are we going to do first? We've got the butter.
We're going to saute the onion, and while we do that, we're going to start chopping up some of our cabbage.
Okay, so I'll toss this in here?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we would toss that in here. And for TV's sake, I mean, we may not have time to actually show everything start to finish, but we'll try. We're going to saute this first.
Right.
And then, Matt, what do you have there? Where is that from?
This is rainbow Swiss chard. It's available at pretty much any grocery store that's local to Connecticut area.
Okay.
And it's kind of basically just a hearty winter vegetable.
Okay.
And we're going to put this together with Savoy cabbage, which is another hearty winter vegetable. And all we have to do here is we're just coring it, taking the core out, and basically just shredding it.
Oh.
So you want to remove this stalky part.
Okay. And you're going to take that out.
And then what you're going to do with this is you're actually going to, you need to blanch it in boiling salted water. And then shock it in an ice water bath to stop the cooking.
Okay.
So we've already done that here.
Perfect. Let's get a shot of that. That's beautiful. Okay. And then you're going to add it to the sauteed onions.
Yep.
Yep, exactly.
No water necessary for this or anything?
No, because there's some leftover moisture from blanching the vegetables. So actually you want to kind of dry it out.
Okay.
Because you don't want it too wet when it's going into the pastry filling.
Now, Matt, what are you doing here?
I'm seasoning it
with a little bit of salt?
A little kosher salt, and that actually will also draw out excess moisture.
Okay.
So that's another reason why we don't need any yet.
So let's fast forward from this spot here. How long will we saute this to? What should it look like?
It should be sauteed for about 10 to 12 minutes. You just want everything to get really nice and tender.
Okay, so let's fast forward here. And then what will we do here?
Then what we do is we're going to slice our speck.
Okay.
So
you would slice it. We've got about a minute or so left, so we would actually slice that.
So you just slice it really quick.
Okay.
Just like, you know.
Like that.
Just like that.
Okay. Now, would you be adding it to the dough?
Well, no, actually, you add it to the filling, and we're going to cook that off.
Okay.
And then what happens is, while this is cooking, we're going to roll out our pastry. This is puff pastry.
Okay.
It's store-bought puff pastry. It's really simple to work with. You just defrost it.
Perfect.
And then what we're going to do is we're just going to roll it out really quickly.
Okay. Now, Matt, can you pull out the finished product? Because I want to show that one for sure. You would actually roll this out for how long? Just so it's nice and thin?
Just so it's nice and thin. So just,
okay. Each side?
Each side.
Okay.
We have a little tiny bit of flour down. And then what we do is this. We have a bowl ready of prepared ingredients, too.
Perfect.
So we just have that. Can you grab the tongs?
Oh, look at you, so loving. She didn't say, yeah, look at her. All set with love, huh, Matt? Okay.
And then what you do is you just essentially, you layer the cabbage and the speck, and then you have your shredded cheese.
Oh, my goodness.
And you put a layer of this down.
Okay, now, Matt, how long are we going to cook that in the oven, and at what temperature?
It's going to cook at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes.
Okay, and really quickly, upcoming event out at Lorchio's. Are cooking from your cookbook.
Yes.
So tell us about
Chef Francesco from Lorchio will be preparing a 5-course meal, all with recipes prepared from our cookbook. And we'll be there to talk and discuss our adventure and our book. And
all right, really quickly, let's get a shot of this finished product. That's what it's going to look like after you cook it, and rather you bake it and pull it out. It's going to look beautiful just like this. And if you want this recipe for yourself, it is a vegetable strudel. Log on to WTNH.com. Click on Connecticut Style. Matt and Melissa.